So this weekend was a big weekend in the ultra world, like a lot of cool races going on, some surprising athletes, just really cool. So if you didn't know, the Pikes Peak Marathon and Ascent was this past weekend. Seth James D'Amour went out and won again, just in like a 3:36:33, I think, which was oddly 2 seconds slower than his last year's finish where he won the race as well. So 2 years in a row now. But he beat his uphill time, like the Ascent, by almost 3 minutes, like well over 2 minutes. And then he was slower on the descent from last year by like another 2.5 minutes. So kind of odd. I'm curious to see his video. I'm sure we'll find out the details of what happened there. Maybe he fell, got hurt, or maybe he had such a lead that he just didn't really push hard coming down. Because he did win by like 9 minutes, which was pretty substantial. So huge congratulations to Seth on that. Really awesome. Another really cool thing is the Leadville 100 was this weekend, which is just a fantastic race. But what was really cool is Anton Krupicka was back. If you guys don't know, Anton is a ultra runner who was one of the best in the game for many, many years, but kind of, I mean, he openly admits this and has said it, that he kind of drove his body into the ground through training, just, you know, put in huge weeks and just suffered a lot of injuries because of it. So he hasn't raced in like 6 years. He's just been like rock climbing, biking, doing a little bit of running here and there. But he came back. This was his first race, and he ended up finishing 3rd overall with like an outstanding time. Just crazy. So cool and exciting to see him back. Well, I wonder if this will be, you know, more of things to come from him maybe in the future. Who knows if he's going to race more or not. I mean, Leadville was kind of like his big race. He's won that before, and I think that was one of his first like hundreds. So really cool to see that. Just some cool things going on. You know, this weekend I went out for a run with Lee. We did the No Business 100 course preview, which that video will be out probably on Friday, because it takes a while to edit those with a lot of different things going on there. But it was a 20-mile section, and it started out really well. You know, we moved good. I packed 2 tailwinds in the front flasks, and then I had water in the back, and I had my Huma Electrolyte Plus gels as well. So probably like 13, 14 miles into the run, I ran out of the tailwind in the flask, which I knew was going to happen. And I was planning to just use the water and the Huma Electrolyte Plus gels, thinking that would be enough. But it was so humid, and I was just sweating like just ridiculous amount, I mean just crazy, that I didn't end up taking in enough sodium or other electrolytes. And I took in a ton of water, so I actually became a little hyponatremic, which basically means your electrolyte balance is off. You've got too much water, not enough electrolytes, so it waters it all down, and your body just doesn't get what it needs. And it's not good. It happens in ultras. It's not super rare. Like hypernatremia is rare and very dangerous. Hyponatremia is more common and not really that dangerous because you can rectify the situation. I mean, I just had to, basically there was a couple times where even on flat ground, I couldn't run. I just had to sit down because my head was dizzy. I ended up taking a salt pill, opening it up, pouring it under my tongue, and just kind of letting that sit for a minute, and then finished out the run with just super slow paces for about the last 4 miles. It was rough. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was a struggle. So good lesson learned, you know. I need to carry more tailwind with me during these long, humid runs that I'm doing. So next weekend, I'm probably gonna fill up the bladder, like a 2-liter bladder, completely full of tailwind. I might even take some extras. I always carry salt pills. I just honestly, I didn't think to take them. I thought that the electrolyte gels were going to be fine, but then they weren't, and it was too late at that point. So, but I did start taking some salt pills. But after the run was rough too. I mean, normally after every run, even these long runs, I'm doing some stretching, but I couldn't stretch. My head was just dizzy. It was just, yeah, it was not good at all. One of the worst long runs I've had in a long time. But hey, you know what? That happens to everybody. Lesson learned. That's how we get better, is to improve, and it's just to learn from our mistakes and don't make those mistakes again. So onward and upward. Also, this run put me over 50 miles for the Hoka Torrent 2, so that full review will be coming out probably Wednesday, honestly. So that'll probably be out, and then the next week will be the shoe battle between the Hoka Torrent 2 and the Hoka Zanol. Both great shoes in their own right, so it'll be really exciting to do that one. I'm looking forward to that comparison video of the shoe battle. But then this last week, I did get this little thing in the mail here. It's called a TheraCup. It's cupping therapy plus EMS. Kind of interesting product for sure. I'll test it out, but basically it's these silicone cups. And if you're familiar with cupping, it's like an old type of therapy that some people do still. And you kind of put it on your body and it sucks the blood flow up to the top of the surface, and it's supposed to help recovery, supposedly. And then EMS, so it's like electro pulses that it shoots in there as well. So I'll try it out over a little bit and see if it works. Use it on my wife too with her back issue. See if it helps her at all, and do a little review maybe on it here in a little bit. But yeah, kind of curious about that because I don't know if I'm a believer, but we'll see. Update on my wife too, because she is training for no business still. Her hip issue was pretty severe where she wasn't really able to run for several weeks. She went to chiropractor and the physical therapist for quite a bit, has been working out a lot, biking, and she's actually now able to run a little bit. So she's actually right now on the treadmill. She's doing like a 30-minute run, and then she'll do, I think, about 2,000 feet of elevation gain. So back when all this happened, she kind of asked me, like, what does she need to do to have a shot, any shot at all of doing no business? And I told her, I was like, well, if you can at least walk, you need to be doing some elevation gain. So she started doing, 1,000 feet a day, probably about 4,000 feet a week, just doing that, just walking, as it didn't hurt. And so she's keeping that up, been doing the biking. Lee let us borrow his indoor bike trainer and road bike, so she's been riding that a lot. Like, she did over 2 hours on it yesterday. So I think she's gonna have a shot. She's running a little bit now, feeling pretty good. So hopefully she'll be able to toe the line with me on October 1st at the No Business 100, and we'll work hard and get her to her first buckle. Get her on one of those, the No Business buckles. I just ordered her a pair of shoes too for No Business because she doesn't really have a 100-mile type shoe. So we actually ordered the Hoka Challenger ATR 6s. She tried my Hoka Challenger ATR 5s on, loved the way they felt. So we got her the 6s in the wide. So when those come in, hopefully they'll fit well for her and be a shoe she can use. I haven't decided my shoe choice yet for No Business, but honestly, I'll probably go back to what I know works. I mean, the 200s I've done, both of these guys right here, I've worn the Challengers. I wore the ATR 3s for this one and the ATR 5s for the No Business. So I might just put those ATR 5s back on, give them a shot. I do have another shoe supposedly coming from Saucony. We'll see if it arrives, but that one might be a contender as well for a 100-mile shoe. So I might do that. But we'll see. Maybe the Torrent 2s as well. I'm kind of up in the air yet. Maybe even the Peregrines. So I don't know. I'm open to whatever works for my feet at the time, So we'll see what I do. But anyway, that's what's up today. Just kind of wanted to give you guys an update. I'm just still dealing with the niggle in my leg. It's has me concerned. I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys, transparent. It has me concerned. I think it's more than just a muscle. The muscle issue I don't think is really what it was. It feels bone related. I'm hoping it's just a shin splint, honestly, and that's something I can work through. But it might be time to get some medical, like an X-ray or maybe an MRI on the leg, and see if there's any kind of stress fracture, stress reaction in there or not. Hopefully not, but at least then I would know, and I can continue pushing through it if it's just a shin splint, because we all get those from time to time. So anyway, still pushing through that. But thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you guys. If you want to take a look at that last video I did of the Coros Apex watches versus the Coros Pace 2, it's going to be on your screen over here. You can take a look at that. Over here will be some trail running videos to go check out. Go check out one of those and see some beautiful I can't talk. Go see some beautiful scenery. So don't forget to give the video a like if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up. Really does help out a lot. Thank you guys. I hope you had a great weekend out there and did some hard things. Saw some beautiful sights on the trail. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.